With the election exactly 3 weeks from today, Democrats starting to see their traditional voters jump ship as Vice President Kamala Harris fails to convince them she has their best interests in mind. As the forefront of this exodus are Latino voters, where Democrat support fell to only 56%, according to a New York Times Siena poll, over the Biden-Harris administration's failure to get a hold of the southern border. That may seem like a big number still, but compare it to 2016 and 2020, when Dems held 68 and 62% respectively of the Latino vote.
For more, let's welcome in founder and president of Buenvenido U.S., Abraham Enriquez. Abraham, good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. So why are we seeing more Latinos supporting Trump this election cycle?
Well, good morning. It's great to be with you. And I'm really excited to really talk about this because you know that the New York Times hated having to come out with such a poll that shows that President Trump is building such a strong coalition with Hispanic voters. And typically, I think it takes 2 or 3 election cycles for you to see if you really have a support of a certain demographic. So this shift of Hispanic voters trending to the right and favoring President Trump is not new. This is something that we've actually seen since 2016 into 2020, even in the 2022 midterms, and now in 2024 when President Trump is polling the best that a Republican presidential candidate has had since, I believe, the 1970s. And why? Well, the New York Times poll shows itself. Hispanic voters see that they were better off under the Trump policies. We know that 2/3 of the Hispanics on the voter rolls are now 2nd and 3rd generation Americans. So what does this mean? This means that we are assimilating to American culture better. English is predominantly our first language. A lot of us have college degrees. So we're getting sophisticated in the policies that we're, voting for in the election booth. And typically Democrats, all they tend to lump Hispanics in is this idea that you must be pro, weak borders, soft on immigration, amnesty for all. They don't realize that, the children of the immigrants are now growing up to be U.S. citizens, and they're more focused on how can I start a family? How can I buy a home? How can I climb the economic success ladder? And it's clear that Trump policies help each of those factors.
And in trying to appeal more towards Hispanic voters, Harris did a town hall on Univision last week. Here's how she addressed her record on the border. Take a listen.
What will you do if you are president that is different than what the presidency of Joe Biden has done in order to fix this problem at the border?
I will put my record up against anyone in terms of the work I have always done and will always do to ensure we have a secure border.
Okay, so he asked her what she'll do. She didn't give an answer at all. Do you think that Univision town hall did anything to shift the needle with Hispanic voters?